What the time is. Oh boy. Okay. That gave me some prep time.
Which I don't mind myself. That's a good thing. Omar, that should be the unspoken Rick running joke.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Uh-oh, did I move? Should I not move the chair?
Yeah, it's supposed to be closed.
Okay, I moved it by accident and I put it back.
You're fine where you are.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Make sure you look now.
Yeah, you're good right there. If you move any more over, you're gonna have a pole sticking out of your head.
Okay, then I won't move. Oh, look, we've got a fancy little light thingy thing.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
So we're still good on the reflection? Because that's why it was over.
Yeah.
This stuff.
No glare. Yep.
People were giving me crap about my paisley shirt.
The commenters.
I was sitting there for lights and we went live. These guys are brutal.
They are they are brutal.
Dollar store.
Straight up.
Yeah, you're right. They are brutal. Did I wear this jacket yesterday? Last week? No way. Wait a minute. No.
I don't think so.
No.
All right. Okay, that means yes. No, and it had the patch. Okay, I'm looking at last week's photo, and I was like, wait a minute. Okay. All right, let's rock and roll. The share links. Is there a share link?
Mr. Meltner?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No ref. Jury duty.
No ref. And if you can,
On the X's and Omar page, there is no shared link, no Twitter or Facebook link.
not that I am aware of.
So how do I usually do it anyway? You c-
I think you retweet what I have on the Dolphins Twitter.
No.
He did. He's actually not related to that at all. But, yeah.
I could tweet it out from this link, but I don't like that.
There's a gunpowder in there. Yeah, I don't know if it still is, but I know it used to be. Something like that. Something really heavy and. Omar, can you feel the fan?
Yes, I can. Um,
Refereeing your flag. It's like getting sued for hitting a guy in the head with a football as a quarterback. That's what I feel like.
It sounded ridiculous at the time, but he did suffer.
Yeah, I mean, at the time it seemed like a free thing. You're like, oh, ha ha ha. And then you realize that this guy was severely impacted.
Hey, can you swing around when you're done? Just before you head out.
Someone's talking about the paisley shirt online. Just got a paisley shirt.
That's me.
now you need to give them you need to show off the fashion now. Like, they're watching.
I know. Well, they don't appreciate good fashion.
I like today's shirt.
Well, thank you. So does my wife, but I keep giving her, because everybody gives me crap about it. So I sent her a screen grab of those. I was like, see?
Oh, why is it not responding?
Sure, ain't no dollars for a shirt.
Oh, of course. I mean, should we just wear the same plain white shirt every day? Yeah.
Well, this he's a half an hour early
I
on
do that,
X's
Adam.
and Omar, so that tells you he has no life either.
You can't say that about him.
Or he's just.
Or just really dedicated. Or he's just.
You're right.
It's interesting, I went to the CGC school schedule and
I want to know what they're saying about Omar. Are we still live?
So, what the hell?
Come on, man. This is driving me nuts.
Well, go right to the source and call Miami Jackson. But they're the ones who are supposedly double scheduled. But Miami Jackson never gonna call us.
Welcome.
Hey.
How was practice?
That was alright. I mean, left before actual practice started.
Yeah, I know, but locker room, what is everybody talking about?
Let's see. I mean, interesting things. I think it's pretty obvious McCain knows he's not the full-time outside corner starter.
Okay, Jamar Taylor, still outside, and McCain is the boundary.
McCain's listed as the starter.
Yes, but he's.
But he talked all about how he came in as the nickel. He's going to be the nickel. It's what he's always done. It's what he loves. It's great that he can do outside too. But
Is it rubbing?
Huh?
Move around.
Move what?
When you move around, throw your hands up and listen.
Throw my hands in the air and wave them
That's
like I
right.
just don't care.
Exactly.
When I do that, what happens?
Last week your mic kept rubbing against your shirt,
Okay.
and so we should probably have like Matt always approve your mic.
All right.
or if that's a problem, you can clip it onto the jacket.
The jacket.
If it's
Okay.
onto the jacket, then it won't.
But you always want to clip it on the side facing Matt.
Okay, so I'll clip it on the jacket
So
next
you
time
don't hear
because
any
it's too
rubbing
complicated
when he
right now.
moves around, so wave your arms around like you just don't care.
Wave my arms in the air. Are we live? Are we live right now? Wave my hands in the air just like I just don't care. I'm like the only black man who can't rap.
Or dance?
No, I can dance.
Oh, okay.
I don't do the trendy ones, but I can dance.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. The mic check's been checked. We've been checked. I'm
Yes.
sure we've been
Testing
checked.
1, 2,
Great.
3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
We're good. We're good.
Yes, we are.
Thanks, Tyler.
Yes, because we get so thirsty. I decided to start drinking pre-drink my drink from the bottle. Yeah,
that's what it's all about, right?
To leave the cup full, because
Smart.
after like 30 minutes, you feel like you're dying of thirst. Hey, I need somebody to take a picture. Take a picture, picture.
Audio on the screen. Still levels.
Here we go.
Hold on. Oh, no, not with your phone.
Not with your
What
phone.
With your phone. What the hell am I going to do with your phone?
Standing? Standing.
Yes, standing. You want to say it? We could try.
No, it's all right. Standing's good.
Then do what you did last week. Don't worry, don't go too low.
Are we both wearing blue?
I have a Wilson blue stripe in 9.
What's going on over there?
You just hit the button.
Oh, no, okay, so you just
Oh,
want
in the blue.
tie.
Yeah, in the blue tie.
Oh, I moved the chair. Make sure I'm right.
Oh, jeez.
I know. Damn it. You should glue the chair down.
He's serious. He really does like the shirt with the French cuff. He's not making fun of you.
Please come show them your fashions today.
Are you gonna be uncomfortable if you get any closer to Matt?
Would you like me to get closer to Matt?
If you could spare a few inches, yeah.
Do you want me to tell them?
Okay.
Matt, you're not uncomfortable, right?
I'm very comfortable.
Cool. Cool.
We're all comfortable here.
Yep. All right. Thank you, man.
My tie don't look right. My shirt doesn't look right. People are gonna be like, man, you're such a diva.
You mean us?
Huh? Yeah, sure.
All right.
Does that, what the heck is that? Does this like puffy or something?
Puffy? Where?
I don't know. The shirt, it looks kind of weird.
Thanks, Twitter. One of the issues is you don't have collar stays in your shirt.
What the hell are collar stays?
Collar stays are these little plastic things that help your collar stay nice and straight.
Okay.
Like on this shirt.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that little plastic thing? Yeah, I have
Yeah.
no idea how they get in there or how you buy them or put them in
Oh
there.
yeah, you see how they come in like this? You see like that? And
Oh,
there's a little
okay.
thing in
All right. Do I even have that there?
there. Yeah, you should.
Damn it! Huh? Can you tell I don't really dress up that often?
I can tell. TV guy teaches the news guy to dress.
I
It's
know.
another. We can do another show.
I know. What's going on, Sarah?
I had just nothing to do with you.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Didn't like that F word over there.
12:14.
Not you. Yeah, we gotta go. It's go time, guys.
No, it's not.
You're telling us it's go time.
I'm telling you it's go time.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Is there a link online and everything for watch?
Yes. Are we up and live and posted?
Ready?
No. So true. Damn it, I don't have any stats. Do I need stats?
Nah.
All right, let's just wing it.
Make them up.
I think I need, yes. All right.
Yeah.
We ready to rock? Are you ready to rock?
We're gonna go.
And welcome to the Week 1 edition of X's and Omar. It is time for real football.
Real? So you saying
Real
what we were doing
football.
before was fake
None of those
football?
shows were real. None of they were fake X's and Omars. This is a real X's and Omar.
The
because
records matter now.
The
Things
records,
count.
things count. We actually get to see the players
Jobs
that we care
are on the
about play the
line.
whole game. This
Well,
is very
for
exciting.
coaches.
Jobs have
Jobs
been
are-
on the line.
jobs
for
have been on the line.
Coaches,
Yes.
jobs are on the line. We're going to talk a lot about this opening game against the Redskins and what you all think of this team and whether or not this is a team that can finally buck the trend and make the playoffs. We're going to take a lot of your questions. We take them all week on Twitter. Just use the hashtag XOmar. Are you excited? Because I'm excited. I'm leaving for DC on Sunday morning, so
Oh,
it's going to be a quick
wow.
little in-out type deal. Are you spending a nice weekend in the nation's capital?
I'm spending 1 day and I'm going to the museum so I can learn about my profession.
museum.
Yes.
Very nice.
Profession in history. And history says, I remember the last time that the Dolphins began the season against the Washington Redskins, it was the Cam Cameron year.
Okay.
It was the disaster of Cam Cameron, 1-15. Hopefully this time it'll be a complete flip, bizarro of that
Okay,
season.
well, we can hope so. Programming note, the Dolphins have changed the time of their player availability, and now it's right before this show starts. And they're actually not even sure if that's what it's going to stay throughout the year. So we might be changing the start time of this show. It might fluctuate till 12:30. I tried to rush here, barely made the show.
I congratulate
So,
you on the effort.
thank
I
you
didn't
very
even
much.
try. I was just like, screw practice.
Okay. Well, I was there, so next week it's going to be 12:30 for the start of the show. Of course, we'll hope you'll hang with us through your entire lunch hour. But let's now talk about this game. Are the Dolphins playoff ready? Do you feel like, as you've watched this team through the preseason before Week 1, that you're watching a playoff team?
I actually do. I had confidence that they were a playoff team or at least a 9-win team the last 2 years. It just didn't happen for whatever reason.
Right.
Coaching. And injuries as well late last season. Here are the reasons why I do believe the Dolphins. I predict a 9-7 record.
Okay.
I believe coaching is going to cost you one. But here's the reason why I believe that they could be a 10-win team. They start the season against a lot of cupcake teams. And
I've been saying that.
yes, you have been saying that. But those games are on the road. If a lot of those games were at home, I would feel a lot better about them. But they were on the road. And you don't know what Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans have in store for you when that week comes.
But we know what the Dolphins have in store for the Titans, and it
True.
should be better.
True. Dolphins are a talented team. What they aren't is a deep team. And I keep saying
That's
that.
true.
It's important. From a standpoint of the starters, if this starting, there are only 2 units that have depth, the defensive line, the offensive line. Now, I think in games where I'm sorry, two units that have depth: the defensive line and the wide receivers.
all right.
The units that have weakness: linebackers and offensive line. Now, if you have matchups that favor you from the defensive standpoint, like this week against Washington, you should feast.
Right.
But then in weeks where another team has a great offensive line, you might be famine. But I really do believe that this team is positioned to win 10 games, primarily because I believe that Ryan Tannehill has taken his game to the next level. I am seeing something that I have not seen in his entire career since 2009, consistent every practice, leader every day, and throwing some deep balls, not a lot of deep balls. Is he ever going to be the aggressive quarterback that sticks his foot in your throat and crushes you, or puts an opponent away by throwing aggressive passes? No, that's not his game. But I do believe the efficiency that he has right now, added with consistency that he's developed this offseason, accuracy and footwork, a little bit better of a pocket presence, is going to help him become a top 10 quarterback this season. And so I'm predicting that because Ryan Tannehill is going to be a top 10 quarterback this season, I'm predicting that they will potentially be a 10-win team if they can stay healthy and win the turnover battle.
I think you can book it for 10 wins.
Woo, tough.
Barring injury.
Barring injury,
Because that's a
yes.
big deal. Barring injury, I think it's 10 wins, and I think it's closer to 11 wins than it is to 9 wins.
Let's not
because
go crazy
they are
right now.
going
Let's
to
not
go
crazy right now.
5-1 in their first 6 games. Mark that, 5-1.
And that one loss is to?
One of them. They're going to screw up one of them. I mean,
Okay.
it's going to have. You said
It's
coaching.
Houston Texans.
One of them.
They've never beaten the Houston Texans.
Yeah, or it's going to be a slobber knocker against the Jets, or one of those games is. I'm going to give them one.
Okay,
But
all
I
right.
mean, they 6-0. Sure, why not? So we talked about Tannehill. He's going to be the difference. Let's take our first Twitter question. It comes from Raymond at Cisco Hallgate. The player on the roster most likely to make his first Pro Bowl.
I would have to go with Rashad Jones.
Okay.
I've just seen a continuous progression and improvement from Rashad Jones, going from his rookie season to where he was last year. If he wasn't suspended and ineligible for the Pro Bowl, he might have made the Pro Bowl, because when he came back and he played those 12 games, he was playing at a Pro Bowl level. Now, losing Louis Delmas is definitely going to hurt him. But I've seen him step up from a leadership standpoint, step up and be a better communicator. I think he's a great in-the-box, strong safety. And I would have a hard time, especially with Cam Chancellor not playing, I would have a hard time naming a better strong safety in the NFL right now.
I think it's a great pick. But I'll throw another one at you. I think
right.
there's a great chance Jarvis Landry catches 100 balls. And if he catches 100 balls, there are a lot of great receivers out there. But
Yeah,
he very well could be a Pro Bowler too this year.
You know what? He's got to do 100 balls and touchdowns. For
Right.
him to be a Pro Bowler, he's got to put up fantasy numbers. I just can't see that happening.
Okay.
They've got too many talented receivers. They're going to spread the ball around. I know Jarvis Landry is going to lead this team in receptions. I just can't see him being a Pro Bowler. Hopefully I'm wrong.
We've been a little optimistic here, and we've talked a little bit about the concerns, but how concerning is that offensive line, the lack of depth, and the fact that they're starting a rookie at right guard?
You know, Brandon Albert looks like he's going to play. He's all smiles. He's trying to prove to Joe Philbin and the coaching staff that, hey, I'm ready. I'm not where I need to be conditioning. I'm not where I need to be technique-wise, but the only way that I get there is by practicing and playing. Jameel Douglas has earned the starting spot over Billy Turner. He outperformed him in the exhibition season. And then Dallas Thomas has probably been one of the more pleasant surprises of training camp. I went into this year thinking that he was going to be the weak link of the offensive line. He was going to be the most troublesome starter. It's not him. He's not on the hot spot. He has grown and progressed and gotten better. So as long as everybody stays healthy and Jameel Douglas continues to improve, Dallas Thomas continues to improve, Brandon Albert is healthy, I believe that they should have a respectable offensive line. I need them to be a good run-blocking offensive line, not necessarily a pass-blocking line.
And the one note from practice that is going on right now is that Jason Fox is not practicing. He's the only one not out there. So he's had a concussion, dealing with that.
You got to
he
pass
might not
NFL
play.
concussion protocol.
So that is another reason why they need Albert out there this weekend. Okay, the Redskins. If the Patriots have had the most drama in this offseason, the Redskins have had the second most drama, and now they have Kirk Cousins as their quarterback instead of RG3. Is this Redskins offense better or worse with Cousins over RG3?
I think they're better. In fact, I like Colt McCoy. I thought they were both a better starter or option than RG3. I think Kirk Cousins has to feel comfortable that if he makes a mistake, he's not going to get pulled. I'm not a big fan of RG3. Those who follow me on Twitter and social media, they know this. I called him Medusa during the draft process because if you stare into his eyes too long, you're going to turn into stone. I just believe that when he lost his athleticism, he wasn't going to be a good quarterback. And look what happened. He had a Pro Bowl season his rookie year, suffered a knee injury, came back, lost his athleticism, and all the elusiveness, all the scrambling, gone, dead. And he is a sack-taking machine. And you cannot run an offense when you're consistently taking negative plays. And I do believe that he is not going to be an NFL starter much longer. I think he will get second
He's already
life.
done. It's already over.
Well, I think he will be resurrected just because Dan Snyder, the owner of the Washington Redskins, is an RG fan, is in that camp, believes in RG3. You know, you give up all these draft picks for him, it's hard for you to pull the plug. That's the reason why he's not cut. But I think Kirk Cousins or Colt McCoy makes Washington a better team because they can execute the offense a little bit better.
Before I was here in South Florida covering the Dolphins, I worked in Virginia, covered the Redskins for a few years, was there for that wild draft where they took both Griffin and Cousins.
Yes.
And Cousins is not a slouch. And there are other quarterbacks that the Dolphins are going to face here in the next few weeks that are worse than Kirk Cousins. Now, he might not have a lot of time to throw with that defensive line chasing him down, but you give Cousins time, and he could make some plays.
For those who follow me on Twitter and know my material and know the man crush list, in 2012, the only quarterback on my Andrew Luck was obviously
well, okay. Aside from Luck, right.
Unbelievable. The only quarterback on my man crush list was not Ryan Tannehill, was not RG3, it was Kirk Cousins. I like the intangibles, the moxie, the leadership, the poise. Now, he's just got to do it. And I told people back then when they drafted RG3, Kirk Cousins will eventually beat the starter. And looky here, we are here.
All right, let's take our next Twitter question. It comes from Proletario at Carlos Rod 90. What is the Dolphins' worst matchup against the Redskins?
I would say the worst matchup would happen to be the secondary. I think Washington has some very good receivers. Pierre Garcon.
Garçon.
You know, I struggle with speaking French.
Sure.
Parlez-vous français?
That was good.
Yes. And I think Deshaun Jackson is still a premier receiver and weapon in this league. I think if he had a good quarterback, you would see that and you would know that and you'd understand that. I'm very comfortable with Brent Grimes. I think there's a high probability that we're going to see Brent Grimes shadow Deshaun Jackson. Pierre Garcon, who is going to contain him, who is going to cover him. And they've got some young slot receivers that are very promising in the draft process that I liked. And I really do believe that Kirk Cousins is going to check down the ball a lot to the slot. You know, is Bryce McCain going to be ready to handle it? We have not seen him under fire a lot, and we will learn baptism by fire right now.
Garcon's a little bit of a big guy.
Yes.
McCain's not a big guy.
You know what? I don't think size really matters from a receiving core. I think technique is what matters. I mean, I don't have any fears or concerns or worries about Brent Grimes covering Brandon Marshall. And one's a monster, one's this big.
That's a good point.
It's all about technique. It's all about knowing your fundamentals and being able to break on the ball. And if the Dolphins, that's the one concern that I do have for the Dolphins, is that they have some weapons there in Washington.
Right. Let's talk more about this offensive line because we enjoy doing it so much.
I've beaten them up so much. It's time to shut me up. I'm not sure if they can.
Is Jamil Douglas ready for this? To be a starting
No.
offensive? Okay, he's not ready.
But he could get ready. He could become ready. I think probably by week 5 we will know whether or not he's got it or not. I think he's done well enough to earn this opportunity, whereas Billy Turner, he just struggled too much with consistency. He's got a couple of nagging injuries right now that impact his play and his performance. Not sure he's ready, but Jamil Douglas, he just continues to get better each and every week, and that's what you like, and that's why you invest in rookies. If they continue to get better and take it to the next level each and every week, you continue to invest in them. You spoon feed them a little bit more. And I really do believe that I talked to a lot of executives in the league, and a lot of them liked him a lot in the draft. I know 2 teams that wanted to draft him in the 4th round before the Dolphins. I mean, after, they were behind the Dolphins in the draft process, and they really believed that he was going to be a ready-made NFL starter, and here's his opportunity right now.
have we turned at least somewhat of a corner on Dallas Thomas? I mean, last
I
year,
have.
all we did was sort of make fun of him all year long.
Not make fun of him, point out his limitations.
Okay, that's another way of looking at it. But I mean, now is he a legitimate starting offensive lineman?
I think here's what I can say about Dallas Thomas. Last year, he was not a problem the entire game. He was
Right.
not a problem the entire season. I mean, he didn't give up a sack, I believe, till it was the Bills game. In all those starts, but when he gave up sacks, he gave them up in bunches to Bills and to the Ravens. Dallas Thomas was a problem last year for 5 plays a game. Now they were 5 disasters
That's all
of
it
a play.
takes. That's all it takes to lose a game.
And it ruins your game. A negative run, a sack, a false start, a penalty, a holding call. 5 plays, 5 opportunities. He was a disaster. Now I think a respectable starting offensive guard. 2 to 3 plays. Mike Pouncey is not going to be perfect the entire game. If he has 55 snaps, he's going to lose 2 to 3. But you can't lose 5. And I think that Dallas Thomas has lowered that number maybe from 5 to hopefully 3.
Okay, let's work out this math here. So, to have a good game for a defensive lineman, you only need to win 3 times?
Joey Porter told me this, and it is God-honest truth. All you need is a ton of stalemates and 3 clear-cut victories, 3 dominant plays: sack, forced fumble, tackle for loss, stop on 3rd down, stop on 4th and 1. All you need is 3 plays a game that are just dynamic, head-busting plays, and you're in the Pro Bowl.
Wow.
If you add them all up, 3 plays, let's say one of them is a sack for a 16-game season, 16 sacks.
That's big. It's a big year.
Yeah.
We are still going to take some of your questions at #XOmar, but we're not going to take any of your challenges today because
Jamil has jury duty.
who would have thought?
Unfortunately, we have to do our obligations.
Our referee's used to judging us, and now he's got to go be the judge of someone else to have jury duty. So our referee will be back next week. Let's take our next question. Alec Costanian asks, should LaMike James take over the return duties for Jarvis Landry?
Absolutely. Jarvis Landry is too valuable as a primary weapon, too valuable as a slot receiver. And I know that a lot of talented players like, for Patriots, why does the name escape me?
Julian Edelman?
Wes
Wes
Welker. Julian Edelman. They do punt return duties, but LaMike James, because it's LaMike now.
LaMike. What did I say?
Changed
I said
by
LaMike.
it's changed by the NFL to LaMike now. LaMike James is ready, capable. I'm not really comfortable with him as a punt returner, but I think backed in situations, you can have Jarvis Landry come in there and field ball.
Was it the muff punt in the 4th
Yes.
preseason that makes you feel like you can't handle it?
The first game also as well. I think he had some issues the first game as well. It just takes repetition, and he's going to get those repetitions.
All right. Let's move on. We are talking a little bit more about this big game between the Redskins and the Dolphins. And we talked about Brent Grimes. I guess it's sort of the same deal here, as all it takes is 2 to 3 wins for a receiver, and Deshaun Jackson has a big game against Brent Grimes.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I think, here's the thing. Brent Grimes is shadowing the best receivers in the NFL each and every week.
Right.
Deshaun Jackson is that best receiver. It's a huge honor when you are that shadow and you go wherever they go. I think the biggest challenge with Brent Grimes shadowing the best receiver is it gets him out of his comfort zone. And it makes that receiver have to work harder and that quarterback have to work harder. But what about everybody else? What about Bryce McCain when he's in the slot or on the boundary? What about Jamar Taylor? Because I do believe Jamar's going to be the other boundary guy. He's going from the right cornerback to the left cornerback. That's a flip of technique. And I don't think everybody's ready and prepared to do that, but we're definitely going to see.
I like Deshaun Jackson, but you just got to stop him from beating you deep. Beating you deep. That's the big thing.
And that's primarily on the safeties as well. And I think that Walt Aikens, this is an opportunity to prove that he's going to be a bona fide NFL starter, prove that he's going to be able to take his game to the next level. And the Dolphins used a 4th-round pick on him. Once Louis Delmas went down, they invested in him. They believe in him. They believe he's got athleticism. They believe he's got ball skills. They believe he's a rare talent. Right now, he has to take his game to the next level from a mental standpoint, and we're seeing him do that.
Well, one of the deepest units, of course, is the receiver. We feel pretty good about the receivers that the Dolphins have, and Devontae Parker looks like he's going to play and
Maybe.
be active. I mean,
They wouldn't commit to it. I'm not sure he's physically ready, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure he needs. Who? Please tell me, who is the 5th receiver on the Miami Dolphins roster? We all know who the 6th receiver is, Matt Hazel, who
Right.
made the 53-man
Right.
roster. Congratulations to Matt, because 6
None of-
receivers.
not many of us thought that
No.
that was going to happen.
No.
So, well, Rashard Matthews is the 5th receiver.
Really? So the guy who's done
Oh,
well
so-
all the training camp, he's now instantly your 5th receiver.
Your first-round draft pick. I mean, okay, maybe this weekend, this week,
Really? Make sure
Rashard Matthews is the 4th receiver. I mean, you could argue that Rashard Matthews should be the 3 receiver.
You could
over
argue
Stills,
he should be
right?
the number 1 receiver.
No, not over Landry, but maybe the number 2 receiver.
Okay, number 2 receiver.
Okay.
And that's the point. The depth at receiver right now is unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, just imagine where the Dolphins came from in 2012 when Ryan Tannehill first got here. I mean, who was he playing with?
Right.
What was he working with? And Devon Best and Brian Hartline, and no shade to Devon Best and Brian Hartline, but none of them really have
Right.
the physical capabilities of these receivers that he's working with right now. And then you throw on top of that tight ends, Jordan Cameron, Deion Sims. He's got weapons.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a ton of weapons. The running backs, Lamar Miller, Damian Williams, Lamike James. He's got weapons. So the one thing you can't say right now is that Ryan Tannehill doesn't have weapons, and I do believe that this receiving core is going to be one of the better units in the NFL.
We only saw Parker for, was it a drive or 2 drives?
8
One
plays.
catch, 8 plays in that
Ran a
fourth
nice hard slant, which
But
is what he does.
It still didn't seem like he was running at 100%. So I'm sort of with you. I was surprised they put him out there in
Yes.
that 4th preseason game.
What else were you going to watch for?
We were trying to find something. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh
Well-
my God, Devontae
Oh,
Parker's
man.
in the game. We have something to care about.
Absolutely, and I think that's part of the reason why they did it, other than the fact that they want to get this young man, keep him motivated, keep him driven, get him experience so he doesn't have first play jitters whenever he does finally play. I personally don't believe he's going to be active.
Okay.
Not this Sunday. I just don't. One, he has no special teams value, and when you're not a starter and you don't add special teams, they might not be able to take you into the game. Rashard Matthews carries special teams value.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's take our next question from Jeremy at InvestigateMT. If the Dolphins starting linebackers go down again like last year versus the Pats, are you comfortable or queasy with the backups?
Joe Philbin's going to regret
Ever
ever
say
saying the word
queasy.
queasy. I am uncomfortable with that unit. I think the next man up is Chris McCain. Koamisi would move inside if something happens to Kelvin Shepard or if something happens to Misi, Chris McCain. Right now, Kevin Coyle has no comfort with Chris McCain, and I can understand why, because he didn't take his game to the next level in the exhibition season. He didn't show you the things that you would hoped you had seen. But outside of that, Chris McCain, Zach Vigil, Spencer Paysinger, it's not horrible. It's not great.
Right.
And really, Chris McCain is the guy with the most talent, most upside. I keep saying that, and he keeps not delivering. But I think that if you put him in that jack role that Deion Jordan held for the past 2 years and have him just specifically serve as a pass rusher, I think he will show you the potential and the promise that I've seen from him.
But back to the question, if one of those guys goes down and Chris McCain has
Season's
to do
over.
everything that
Season's
a
over.
linebacker, it's tough.
It's tough. But Zach Vigil, I think there's a lot of potential. I think the coaches are interested and willing to invest in him this year.
Okay. Let's take our next question from James at James Andretti. Seems a while ago, but Coyle was on the hot seat. Do you think the D will rise under him this year?
I think any defense that has Ndamukong Suh, Brent Grimes, Cameron Wake, Rashard Jones.
Walt Aikens.
Okay.
We were just naming names, right? No?
No, I was naming elite players.
Oh, okay. No,
elite Pro Bowl players,
okay.
caliber players. I think any defense that has that kind of caliber player should be a Pro Bowl, should be a top 7 unit in the NFL. They were a top 5 unit in the NFL before they got to that Detroit game, and then all of a sudden they're just
Right.
The talent is there. Depth is not there. Depth exists on the defensive line. So if you lose 1 or 2 of those guys, thumbs up, you're good to go.
Right.
No depth linebacker, no depth at safety. If Jordan Kovacs has to play, no shade to Jordan Kovacs, no offense, but he's not very good. If you just want to see him play, go watch the Jets season finale last year. Struggle was real. No depth at safety. I'm not comfortable with the depth at cornerback. I know Will Davis showed flashes, 2 interceptions. I know Bobby McCain has a ton of talent, but makes me a little bit nervous. So I think that they have to stay healthy from a defensive standpoint. But if linebackers go down, it's not going to be pretty.
We've talked about it before. Brent Grimes is the most
Important
important
guy.
guy on the team. You cannot lose Brent Grimes.
I would say you're probably right. I think Brandon Albert is just as important.
Okay.
You will not have a respectable offensive line without Brandon Albert, but it's 50-50. Maybe Will Davis can get the job done if Brent Grimes goes down. I'm pretty certain Jason Fox can't hold down the left tackle spot for an entire season. Game or two, entire season, no.
What do the Dolphins have to prove to you? What is going to be the difference?
Mentally tough.
Yeah.
They have to have a mentally tough team, resilient, be able to finish the season, finish games, finish the season. Two areas that they struggled in last year: efficiency in the red zone. They were in the red zone more than any other team in the NFL. Didn't deliver the touchdowns. 55% were turned into touchdowns. If you had scored more touchdowns, you'd have had more leads. Defense would have been pinning their ears back and get after leads. Also, 4-minute offense. When you have the lead and you get the ball in the fourth quarter and you need to put together a 4-minute drive to kill the game, they couldn't do it. And they've got to be able to do it. They've got to step forward and show that they can finish off opponents and then finish the season. In 25 years, I did the statistical study. 25 years, the Dolphins have had 8 winning Decembers. Wow. 25 years. And then you wonder why in 2012, 2013, 2014, I could go back to 2011, 2010 if you like, why you're in position to make the playoffs. And then, we dropped the ball. We fumbled it in December. It's because you finished the season poorly. I think Joe Philbin has to find a way to keep his players fresher and healthier so that they can play better in December. And have you seen that December schedule?
I have seen that. We could talk about how easy
you talk
the early
about
part of
how
the schedule-
easy that early portion of the schedule is. Woo, that December schedule. It's a beast.
Last 2 games probably against the 2 best teams in the AFC, Colts, Patriots.
And don't forget the Ravens. They're back in that backpack too.
And they're back there too.
The Ravens are the Debo of the NFL. They bully you every single week.
9-7,
year.
10-6. I'm assuming you're picking the Dolphins to win this one.
Yes. Prediction, I am picking the Dolphins to win this game. I believe it's something like 24-13.
Okay.
I don't think this is going to be close. Washington Redskins, they just have nothing to give them, nothing to challenge Miami. If Miami can contain Alfred Morris and shut down that running game, they should be able to win easily.
I got 28-17. I think and that's on the low end. They should win by more than that. We'll take your questions all week long on Twitter. Just use the hashtag XOmar. Thanks to everyone who asked us questions this week, and we'll see you again next week at 12:30 right here on thesunsentinel.com.